Segment 1. What is Dead by Daylight? Dead by Daylight is an asymmetrical multiplayer horror game in which one player takes the role of a powerful killer, while 4 players take the role of a survivor on a procedurally generated map chosen at random. Each killer in Dead by Daylight has a unique power that can be improved upon through the use of add-ons. On the other hand, survivors can each bring a unique item with its own add-ons that enhance the item's effectiveness. Every player also has 4 perk slots, which can be filled with a variety of different buffs. The killer's primary objective is to kill all 4 survivors by any means. The killer will have to knock down a survivor by hitting them twice. A downed survivor may be picked up by the killer and placed on a sacrificial hook. While a survivor is hooked, others may save them by pulling them off the hook before the time runs out. The survivor will die if they are not rescued or if they are hooked 3 times. On the other hand, the survivor's primary objective is to escape the trial by repairing generators placed around the map. Once 5 generators are repaired, 2 exit gates will become powered. At this point, the exit gates can be opened by either the survivors or the killer. However, if there are still generators left to repair, an escape hatch will spawn somewhere on the map. This escape hatch can only spawn if there are less survivors alive than generators repaired. The escape hatch will open when only 1 survivor remains. A survivor equipped with a dull key or skeleton key may open the escape hatch prematurely. The killer has the power to close the hatch if they find it before the last survivor. In the event of an exit gate being opened or the hatch closing, the endgame collapse will occur. This event starts a 2-minute timer for the remaining survivors to attempt to escape. If the time runs out, any survivors left in the trial will be instantly killed by the entity. Each of these aspects ensures that each game has the possibility to be a completely different experience. Segment 2. Key objects and mechanics. Each killer has what's called a terror radius. When you are near a killer as a survivor, a heartbeat can be heard, which is followed by music. The sounds get louder and more intense the closer the killer is. Regardless of the map, several objects can be used throughout the trial by survivors. These key objects include window vaults, pallets, and lockers. Each object has its own unique use to aid survivors in either escaping or staying hidden from the killer. Windows spawn on all maps and give the survivor a place to vault at a quick speed to put distance between the killer and themselves. There are 3 different vault speeds depending on the angle and speed the survivor approaches the vault. Only fast and medium speed vaults alert the killer of your location. Survivor perks like Windows of Opportunity or Life can make these vaults even more useful. Pallets can be pulled down by survivors, which can prove to be life-saving. When dropped on a killer, the killer will be briefly stunned, giving the survivor a chance to make a quick escape. Windows of Opportunity can make pallets more useful, along with the survivor perk Any Means Necessary. The final key object is the locker. Lockers can serve as a hiding place for survivors. While it may seem like a viable move, hiding in lockers can be risky. If a killer finds a survivor in a locker, the killer will be able to grab the survivor and carry them to a hook. Survivors can make better use of lockers with perks such as Head On or Inner Strength. To shut down the use of these objects, the killer may use perks such as Bamboozle for windows, Spirit Fury for pallets, and Iron Maiden for lockers. Segment 3. Bloodpoints, Progression, and the Archives. Bloodpoints are a Dead by Daylight currency used to purchase perks, items, add-ons, and offerings on killer or survivor bloodwebs. Bloodpoints can be attained in a variety of ways. The primary way that bloodpoints are attained is through playing games. Both roles have 4 different categories of bloodpoints, and completing certain actions grants bloodpoints up to 8,000 per category. This makes the maximum amount of bloodpoints attainable in one game 32,000. Blood points can also be earned by completing daily rituals. Each day, you will receive a new daily challenge that you can complete to earn blood points. The tasks necessary for completing these are given at random. Another method of receiving blood points is to complete challenges in the archives. The archives contain a tome and a rift. In the tome, you can complete either killer or survivor challenges to receive blood points and rift fragments. Rift fragments are a separate currency that goes toward unlocking exclusive rewards on the rift. 10 rift fragments grants you another level on the rift, giving you more rewards. There is a free track of rewards, as well as a paid track with premium rewards. The paid track can be purchased at any time, unlocking all premium rewards up to your rift level. By engaging with all the methods listed, you will be granted plenty of blood points, allowing you to level any character you own in no time. Segment 4. Gameplay Tips. Survivor. Around the map, 5 totems will spawn that can be cleansed by survivors for blood points. If a killer brings a hex perk, it will be bound to one of the 5 totems. This special totem can be identified by its lit candles. The hex perk will be taken away from the killer when this hex totem is cleansed. This can prove to be game-changing and will grant bonus blood points as well. On each map, look for structures that either contain windows or pallets. This can be useful in a pinch, so be sure to remember their placements. Some common structures on maps include harvesters, L-wall T-walls, and the killer shack. Running with a plan can prove to be life-saving. While being chased, try to run around obstacles with a window or pallet and refrain from dropping pallets when it is not necessary. Needlessly using pallets will only burden you and your team. Segment 5. Gameplay Tips. Killer. Since each killer has a unique power, familiarize yourself with different killers and find which one you are most comfortable playing before you try to rank up. Similar to survivors, it is important to get familiar with all the different maps and structures so that you can use that knowledge to predict a survivor's next move. Many new players resort to camping hooked survivors in order to secure a kill. While it might seem convenient to camp a hooked survivor, it actually gives survivors more time to work on generators and deducts from your overall points. Instead, focus that time on disrupting generator progress and extending the trial. This will give you a better shot at getting more kills. This concludes my Dead by Daylight Beginner's Guide. I hope you can use some of these tips to aid you in your future trials. For more information on game tips and mechanics, consult the in-game tutorials and guides. Thank you for watching, and remember to have fun.